And there you have it, just like we said.
Blind spot it is. Yes. One of us was right. One of us who's in the bar tonight was right.
Technically, she did also say she thought Havu would win. She just then sort of worked it into it, but you still got it right at the end.
This really
overall, you were right.
This really was one of those cases where it's like, you know, the heart says Havu.
Yeah.
But the mind says MIBR.
I'm not leaving the cat. I'm just walking off.
Fine.
Already.
Is it just us three? Is it just us three?
Nah, he's coming.
Yeah, Maui's coming over here. Get over here, Maui. We got a mic.
I've got a stat for people, actually, that we didn't even notice, because this is how under the radar Havu's actually flown. After map 1 that they won, they were on a 9-map win streak in this entire tournament. And I think this might even be the first time, except for the Mad Lions series, I think the first time they've ever lost 2 maps in a row.
And it was looking like a 2-0. It was looking like a 2-0 for Havu's side of things. And I don't think it's any surprise. I think it's what you said, Summer, is that the mental state for a newer team, inexperienced team, Cloud9 making it all the way to OT in the opening match, then in the second map, just getting destroyed. Havu here as well, making it competitive, but in that second map, it just seemed like they didn't have enough fuel left in the tank to be able to make things competitive, because it was underwhelming. And this is not the Havu that we've been speaking about in all of Flashpoint 1.
Actually, I think it is the Havu that we've been speaking about in all of Flashpoint 1.
Oh, take that then.
Okay.
Why don't you just shut up, Aisha?
You win.
This is the Havu.
Go on, okay.
This is the Havu who so far have been beasting on teams they should beast on, and this was going to be the real test to say, okay, are Havu a top contender for the league or not? Can they hang with one of the teams that is always going to be a threat throughout the entire tournament? MIBR, no joke. We got world champions on this team. This was the true measure here of Havu. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
World champion and Mayron.
What is this, like a full moon or something? What's going on with Mayron? Is this some sort of Teen Wolf type scenario?
He's in London right now. He flew over to London real quick.
Oh, well, I agree. Like, I agree, Semler.
Against equal or lesser opponents, I think Havu win out 100% of the time, always putting the money on him. Here was a risk to bet on him. Here was a risk, but now you saw, like, there is that little...
It's the difference between tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is it? The inquantifiable, the
intangibles.
Intangible. Yeah. There it is. The intangibles.
He couldn't quite put his finger on something, you know.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Kind of makes a lot of sense if you think about it thematically. Well done, Samuel.
Yeah. Well, you know, just layers.
Don't say it. Just show us.
Layers and layers.
I will say though, like that, I agree. Like I was joking with him after this game. The new meta that Havu need to play if they play MIBR is just don't even plant the bomb, because if you plant the bomb, you're in a post-plant scenario and you dog shit at those. So.
I didn't like how Saw called, actually. I thought Saw, this is one of the times where I felt like tactically...
Just on this map, right?
Yeah, just this map. I feel like he just went for 5-man set plays over and over and over again. The one time he defaulted with his team, he found a pick towards Ivy and a pick towards B, but it was still a 4v3 advantage, and then he just kind of grouped up and hit a bomb site. I think he needed to default with his players a little bit more. He needed to have a little bit more trust in his players, because they've shown that they can pop off in individual circumstances at times, but he never really gave them the freedom to do that. He just was calling all these just 5-man outside hit or 5-man B hits over and over again. And MIBR, they're so well versed on this map, they're not going to just lose to a regular exec.
I can't even put a finger on Saul though, because there was even a round where Dodo was towards Ivy and they had just thrown all their utility and he just walk peeks into Fallen's crosshair, just giving him a free kill. So it's the foot off the gas pedal.
This is something we even actually brought out even when the Havu guys beat, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think it was maybe August or Chaos, one of those two teams. They played them on train, and on T-side I even said the weird thing is, you know that they work on tactics and they work in the server, because the first part of the round you can see they know what they're doing. But after that they have no clue. Like, and it's almost like some of the things they're doing, they don't really know why they're doing it. So I think that's a great example, because the point of the utility was to force the AWP off. So why then slow peek in and win with a rifle?
All right, I'm very curious. Has Taco been able to hear this? Is the mic open at Taco right now? Cool. Taco, what do you think of that analysis right there? I'm kind of curious. Is that how you felt playing against Havu right now?
Hey, can you repeat the question?
I was wondering if you were listening to Thorin, if you could hear Thorin there and what he, like, his analysis of how you guys were able to
really
take
paying attention.
Havu.
Sorry.
Okay. Well,
basically,
right.
I'll make a very quick version.
Congratulations, congratulations on the win. You did it. You're into the finals of the upper bracket. So already, great work there. Feeling good?
Yeah, it's feeling good. I think it was a really nice game to play.
It looked like it, yeah.
We were kinda off in the first map, of course, which was our peak. But I'm happy in the end we got the win.
Do you feel like there was an experience gap? Like we were just talking there about how on the last map, on the T side, the guys from Havu, it looks like they know like the concept of the tactic, like they get the bomb down, they come up, but then it seems like once they have to make their own decisions as players, you guys were catching them out every time, outthinking them all the time, it felt like.
Yes, I agree with that, Tori. I was talking with Kenji now, and I told him that they are very organized team. They have a lot of stress, a lot of good nades, and they know how to attack. But that's exactly what Kenji said. Yeah, they know how to do it, but after the after plant and the situations is not that hard to play against them. So yeah, we do agree with that exactly.
Okay, me and Kenji, we're just on the same wavelength. It's always been like that.
Taco, do you think that your Vertigo match, I know that it wasn't intended for you to lose so heavily, but was your game plan, were you just not able to stick to your game plan at all because of how Havu were playing, or was this just a bad start and a bad day on Vertigo?
Yes, we had a bad start. We had a bad day as well, and also I believe that we were thinking too much about Havu, about how they were playing and how they would be playing, and we forgot to think about our game. And I think it made me and my team lose a little bit of confidence. We were playing their game instead of playing our game, and that's the talk we had after the first half on Dust 2. Guys, let's just play our game. I mean, we are thinking too much about their game, about what they're gonna do, and we are forgetting to play our game. Let's just play our game, and for the third map at least, and for the second half on Dust 2, it worked pretty well for us.
Also, second half of Dust 2, like you've seen that show before. It's just a Fallen show, right? Every time this guy's in a clutch, anytime someone ops versus him, that's Fallen, right?
Yes, Fallen is bringing a lot of clutches for us, and it's really important to win this kind of round because it gives the team a lot of confidence, and it gives him as a game leader and as an alpha a lot of confidence as well. So it's really important to win these rounds, and Fallen is the kind of player that can do this. He's very good on clutch rounds. He has a lot of experience as well, and winning these kind of rounds that you are not supposed to win.
Right.
Gives you, I mean, a lot of confidence, and it gives you a round as well, which is good.
This is a little offbeat, but given the coronavirus situation, what have you guys been eating at your guys' facilities?
Yes, we have Camila, and she cooks Brazilian food for us.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Keep going.
So we still eat some. We're still the same. Be really honest, the corona situation didn't change much our lives. We're still at
True
home,
gamers.
like always, playing CS and talking CS and watching CS and eating Camila's food. And I mean, still the same for us. Of course, playing online would be much better. I think everyone agrees, but I mean that's the situation we are in right now, and there's nothing much to do. And I mean we are happy, and that's
Okay,
it.
One more tactical question now, though. Okay, at the B site on Dust 2, you were having a tougher time today than we've seen you before. Why do you think Havu's B takes on you today were so much better than, say, I think Orglis, for example? You just were ripping them apart as an anchor there. What made Havu just so hard to deal with?
The problem is that I knew what they were going to do, believe it or not. And then I had to think too much about it. And I believe if I was just playing my game, because I mean I'm holding the B side on this show for 5 years now or something like that. I know how to play there. I know.
Second guess yourself a bit.
Yes, I know how to play there. I don't have to think too much about their strat. And I was doing stuff that I'm not comfortable doing, and it made me lose a lot of confidence. And of course, props to Havu as well. They have good exacts on B. They have good smokes and good flashbangs as well. So yeah.
Now, going into this upper bracket final, you're going to play Mad Lions. And this is a big money match, actually, because the winner of that match is guaranteed at least 250,000. Obviously, he'll be in the grand final. Now, there's another team where they've looked so good throughout the tournament, like Havu did. They've been tactically good. They've fragged well. But they're also a team that, compared to you guys, are way less experienced, right? So is that going to be your edge? Are you going to smash these guys? Are you going to beat Mad Lions in this upper bracket final?
I'm very excited to play Mad Lions because last time we played against them we lost, so we are looking forward to take their revenge. Of course they are a really good team, but I think we are better, and they're gonna show that when we play against them. I feel like I have to step up my game if we want to beat them, because of course, like I said, they are a good team. But if things goes normal and everyone is playing good and we are not in an off day, I think we're gonna beat them.
Taco, we always talk about on the desk about how MIBR seems like they have so much talent and firepower, but the indecisiveness and sometimes rookie mistakes, it seems like, in that server. And you just mentioned that you've been playing that B bomb site for over 5 years, so you definitely know how to play it. Do you think you guys suffer from too many options across the board and you just have your playbook is so deep that sometimes you don't know which option to pick? Or is this just completely a mental barrier? And are you and your team doing anything to try to fix that?
That's actually a really good question, and I would say that they are both right. It's a mental thing, and we are also sometimes thinking too much, and that's something, of course, we are working on, and that's something we also realized that is wrong in our team. But I mean, it's a long-term thing to fix that, and we know that, and we are working really hard to fix that. It's not easy, but we're gonna get there. I'm confident we're gonna get there.
So with the Krieg nerf coming in, I saw Fallen by the Krieg a couple times. Is he just doesn't want to give up on it? Just doesn't want to throw away? Doesn't want to move on?
Yes, he bought it on Vertigo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he said it's good to one tap, guys. It's good to one tap.
There it is.
Still good.
I got one tap, yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not playing with the Krieg anymore. I'm just using the AK, and I'm happy with it actually, because as a B solo player, it made my life easier. Being honest, this update. So I'm happy with this update, and I don't think anyone in our team is gonna be playing with the Krieg still.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks very much, Taco, for taking the time for the interview. Congratulations on the win, man. Feels good, I'm sure. And best of luck against Mad Lions in the upper bracket final.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I'm gonna watch the broadcast after the practice, because we have practice now.
Okay.
And after practice, I'm gonna watch, and it's always nice to hear you guys commenting, and I mean, I learn a lot from you guys. So thank you very much.
Might be very interesting in the
Thanks for the
pre-game section if you watch that.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a good night.
Taco.
Thanks.
Have a great
Actually-
day. Bye-bye.
Oh, thanks. I actually have a comment to say on something he said there. When he
Okay.
said, actually, that his problem in the B site on Dust 2 was that he actually knew what they were going to do and that threw him off. This is something people might not realize. That's actually a common philosophy in MIBR. Famously, when Fur in 2017 was a god at those CT pushes on Overpass, everyone assumed, right, he must obviously just like scan all the demos. He's probably being fed info. And he said, no, it's the opposite. Actually, he told them, I don't want to know what they're doing. Don't tell me the setups. Because if I know the setup, it'll actually change how I attack the corner, what I think. So it's just a different philosophy on the game, you know. They're not trying to play execute Counter-Strike in the same way Havu is.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be obviously talking about more CS. So we'll be right back. back from the break, everybody. We are here in the blind spot. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the broadcast. But before we go home, we're going to look at the schedule. Let's take a look at the bracket. First, smooth. Look at that music. Got to blend in with the music, man. You got to follow these vibes. So, Mad Lions versus MIBR in the upper bracket final. It's coming up at some point.
It's going to be so sick.
It's going to be sick. Let's take a look at the lower bracket.
We get out of here.
Havu, they switch up to the top half, so they're going Havu versus Genji, and then Cloud9 versus Orgless.
Hey, listen, bearing in mind we didn't know who would be playing this game. Now that I see it, Havu Genji. The Genji I saw a couple of days ago, this is going to be an interesting game because that was actually firepower where they could do some of the things potentially that MIBR just did to Havu.
Yeah, exactly. They have a similar composition in terms of skill and firepower. Genji hasn't shown me a lot, but Havu, now we know that they can crumble against star power.
And again, just like for the MIBR, the demos are out there. You can find out what these T rounds are going to be. Now listen, Havu still on the other maps get their T rounds, but you can at least be aware of what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's definitely Havu's opportunity to capitalize. But for some reason, I still have Genji very high up in my
Not like a let go, are you?
list. I'm just not gonna let go yet.
Okay.
Maybe it's the 4 Asian thing. I don't know what it is. but
Automatic. I just can't let you go.
I can't let him go. I can't let him go. But really, Genji's approach, although it's very slow and methodical, I think that in turn will eventually enable their players, right? Just because they've got so many opportunities to make plays across the map because Daps is giving them the full minute and 45 within the round. So some way, somehow, I believe in Genji turning the ship and Bentet showing up because his name's Hansel Ferdinand.
Might be that lower bracket run that this whole tournament's about.
Cross your fingers with me, Maui.
there it
Come on.
is.
Cross your fingers with me.
I have to say though, part of me would like, being as we've got the double in bracket, I'd love to see that Havu MIBR game run back again. I'd like to see what the maps would be.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how they would play those maps because there's potential that this could be a completely different series either way. I could see MIBR winning harder in theory.
Suomi, man. Trust in the Suomi. They're going to take this down. I think Havu got it. They're going to run it back through the lower bracket. It's going to be spicy.
I think if we see that rematch, though, MIBR are going to body them. I actually just fully believe
Possibility.
that.
Yes, MIBR will body them, but Havu will, get that rematch.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Possible. I believe in Genji also. Me and Potter got Genji there.
What about the other matchup then? So the other one is obviously the Orgless versus Cloud9 one.
That's a good
I
one.
feel like this could go either way.
That's a good...
I think Cloud9 smash.
Yeah. I think...
I mean, it's not in terms of like building it up. Totally get it. If there wasn't all of the strife that we know that's going on in
I
Org.
think that's going to sort of degrade Orgless.
I think
that's a big problem too
that
for them.
Loss of like the 5 to 10% in performance that Cloud9 I think have got more than enough to make up for that, and that's where they'll edge the win. But I mean, obviously could get proved wrong. Maybe Orgless just go full pug, like don't give a fuck, let's get in there. And
I'll say the exciting angle for me is that thing that I mentioned the info that Maui Snake told me that supposedly Sonic never really embraced the Krieg anyway, and he was just sort of almost waiting for it to be nerfed. Well, it has been, and when it was nerfed, he looked fantastic.
Isn't that like the purest way too? It's like one day, and I will be ready. I will be ready. He had to wait a while, but.
Yeah, I love what I saw. I saw it at Sonic today, despite the loss. And Orgless, the other thing is that FNS just tweeted out that Wardell flew back home. And he lives in, I think, right in Saskatchewan or something, of Canada. He lives right, he lives in...
Is he going to be playing from a log cabin?
He basically...
using, like, mirrors to contact the satellite. So what's going on here?
He lives in, like, the Asian suburb out of Toronto, I think, which I've actually been to, so that's why I know this. So, yeah, but,
okay.
Yeah.
So, but no.
Oh, he's on Eastern... Is it on the East?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want my Opera on 100 ping.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have
So
the ping.
I just can't take Orgless there, because...
Do we know why he went back?
No, that's the thing.
Nobody knows why
Before
Wardell
we
does
knock
anything.
But that's the thing. Before we knock on him, like, oh, why'd you go back? It's like maybe there's something that actually he needed to go back for. And so until we have that
Mr.
information, I'm not
Compassion.
going to dunk
I
on
prefer to just, speculate wildly into a void of no information.
Of course, I know.
Why break the habit of a lifetime, Similar?
Please continue, Duncan. Why?
I
Speculation.
think it's probably just a pussy.
Okay, there we
Woof.
go.
Here we go.
What do you
And
want?
on that note,
Prove me
that's
wrong.
it from
Get a
us
flight
here at
back.
the Blind
Floppy's going to be chomping on him.
All right, guys. Thank you for today. Once again, it's been great. And we'll be back tomorrow with the lower bracket matches. So we'll see you then.